Back to another week of performance reviews where I go over the performance and the analytics behind the scenes of the videos that I make. Look at the really well performing ones, look at the really shitty performing ones, try to give you an understanding of why are the numbers the way they are. First up, let's just talk about Tower of God and how fucking trash it is. It shouldn't be a surprise to you, but what is very unfortunate is the fact that Tower of God, bro, like this is so Workshop Battle started to get hyped up here. There was a bit of hype for the Workshop Battle arc, you know, at this point. But notice how the numbers fall off so fucking quick, and I'd like to think that it's not really due to my reactions, because I genuinely believe that it is to do with the content, the actual like anime we're watching. You would think that like Bam awakening the Thorn, Bam having this new power, like this is like a Super Saiyan moment. This is like a Gear 2 moment. This is like a Bankai moment for Tower of God. A new power being released, yet ain't nobody give a fuck. And it's so sad, but it makes a lot of sense. Tower of God just suffers from the shitty adaptation that's been given from The Answer Studio. It's very unfortunate that a story that's been glazed like crazy can be so fucking mid because of the production value, you know, had to do with the butts. It is what it is, man. I genuinely should have dropped Tower of God a long time ago, right? It's so sad because if you look really deep into, you know, the viewership, like Tower of God from the beginning, yo, we were doing all right. It wasn't the best performing show, but a lot of people were, you know, very enthusiastic. The beginning of Tower of God too was very hype. Why the fuck did this get? Oh, it's probably because I called Ragel a swear word, but you know, hype dies down, production value is not there, and I should drop it. I genuinely should drop this show. Let's look at how poor performing this show is. At this period, right, we're lagging behind a lot. The quality of the audience is good enough that even with the lack of viewership, the watch time is still on point, but it's just like, womp, man. At least we're almost at the finish line. I think we have 1 or 2 more episodes of Tower of God left. We're gonna finish it. It's just unfortunate that what happened to it. And on the other side of the spectrum, you know how Tower of God and Blue Lock constantly got made, you know, comparisons of because of the production value issues? What an interesting scenario where both shows are getting done dirty by their respective production committee, yet Blue Lock is succeeding like no other. And why is that? A lot of people say it's due to the nature of the hype story. Does that mean that Tower of God doesn't have hype story? Because right now, I believe Tower of God and where it's at should be very exciting in terms of story. I think this has to do with the adaptation of the story, the overall direction of the story. Do you know what I'm talking about? The whole notion that just because story is hype and therefore the anime is getting carried, I don't think is the complete picture. Because again, Tower of God's story right now, I believe, should be also just as hype. But because of how 8-Bit Studios knows how to translate that story in terms of the direction, the pacing, I guess, they are able to give it way more hype than Tower of God, where the Answer Studio, I don't think they really understand Tower of God, the story that it's supposed to represent, and how to really compel the audience, like how the webtoon has done. That is my assumption about why Blue Lock is doing so much better in Tower of God, yet both stories should be both hype. Why is one popping off more than the other? I think it has to do with more the directing. It's actually crazy how well Blue Lock does. And the crazier shit is that Blue Lock, dude, it's not even my audience. I'm getting bailed out by Blue Lock, by the way. Genuinely, every Blue Lock video is just like this. New people coming in, and if you look at the sub to not sub ratio, bro, look at that shit. I'm getting carried right now. Reactions like this, I did not earn. I'm getting completely carried by the trend. And why didn't I earn it? Because my community members don't give a fuck about this. When I earn something, when I say I earn something, it has to do with more of like, am I giving the, like I'm farming old anime reactions or any type of videos where my audience will eat that shit up. But my audience doesn't really give a fuck about this, yet tourists love this shit. And just 1 second. If I finish my thought, 1 second. Had to grab my smoothie. But in terms of, you know, tourists loving this shit, remember how I tell you guys that it's not a good idea to only obsess over trends because you're only gonna have a revolving elevator, you know, a revolving door of people coming in, people going out because they only cared about for that trend. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't always not do it though, right? It's important to balance too. And yes, Blue Lock is popping off right now. Will these people continue to watch my other content? Most likely not, but that's normal. And my expectation is that about 10% of the people that found me through Blue Lock will be sticking around. Therefore, our community slowly gets bigger and bigger. So it's perfectly fine. Let's look at the revenue. God damn. I'm gonna be so depressed next month. In January, performance review videos will be very interesting in January because RPM will drop. Remember, anytime there's, you know, holidays, any events for people to spend money, advertisers will go crazy. It's December, bro. I mean, November, December, you know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that bullshit. We got Christmas coming up, Boxing Day, whatever, right? They're always going to ramp up all the advertisement money as these holidays are in. And once January hits, everybody just gets fucking cold. But that's how, you know, ad revenue works. Any other stuff? I'm surprised that people didn't care too much about the Psy backstory, man. I thought that Psy backstory was really good, but people genuinely only care about these hype goals. Look at that shit. Look at the difference in viewership when there's like a hype goal happening, right? It is what it is, though. You got to give the tourists what they want. All right. Next, what do we got? I'm noticing that the short skit reactions don't do very well. I mean, they're really low effort, right? In terms of the time put in for me. I don't mind, but videos essays like this doing well is always good for me. It's also very interesting that, like, you know, like, who the fuck cares about South Korea politics? Yeah, we're able to cover content like this here now because I guess that I don't know, people like, you know, like my channel is definitely evolving, right? We do VTuber drama here and there. It's always fun to watch, but it's like the fact that people care about my commentary enough to check out these kind of videos is also really cool on, you know, non-anime related content. This is a very interesting one, huh? Look at Mao 2099. Why did the most recent one do so well compared to the others? In terms of the likes, it's pretty consistent, meaning it's my community member still watching it, but I guess just because titties, right? It's just titties, bro. Had a funny moment with Booba. Mao is holding on. This is what I would consider a very average community series. Not a community series, a very average weekly show, right? Compared to Blue Lock, this is something that I earned. Look at the sub to non-sub breakdown, right? It's all my audience. Look at the blue line being pretty much flatlined compared to the returning viewers, right? Makes sense. Shows like this, I completely earn because I'm focusing into my community and what people want to see from me. Next up, Apothecary Diaries is still fucking killing it. Low-key, Apothecary Diaries is getting similar viewership to ReZero back when I was grinding that shit in August, man. Like, 5K, 5K, 5K? With this many likes? This is ReZero numbers, man. That's great. Yes, we have a lot more, you know, Apothecary Diaries reactions coming up. Remember, what you see on YouTube is most likely content from like weeks ago. Early access on Patreon. Let's look at this one. Yeah, this one, bro. Episode 4? God damn. Look at the audience. Look at that. No new people. All of my boys and girls. I earned this shit. We're not getting carried by anything right now. Completely our audience. Revenue, fucking killing it. The best thing about shows like this and like ReZero is the fact that the average watch time will be always so much higher. Because people, this is a quality audience, right? It's my audience. They know who I am. They're willing to watch pretty much everything. But shows like this creates way more watch time than other shows because of the nature of my commentary and what kind of shows elicit that kind of commentary. People sit down and watch the entire thing. We make way more money to do it. It's very good. No trends, no nothing, just us here having fun. Always great to see. Anything else? Ranma. So Here's a very interesting thing that we did with Rama, okay? Because 3 days ago, I mean, it's 6 in the morning right now that I'm streaming. And I've been streaming for the last 3 hours. Which means I went live at 3 in the morning. But Rama, basically my sleep schedule's gotten so fucked up that we streamed for like 7 hours and then Rama got uploaded. And usually I'm like a day behind, but for this one specifically, I said, fuck it. I'm gonna go in. Let's just react to it and give an early reaction. And the whole point of uploading it early is to kind of like make it onto the search engine. Because the idea of uploading something early is that if you're early enough and everyone is watching it, then there's less competition in terms of the videos being categorized around it. Therefore, it should kind of land on the search engine. Therefore, you should get way more tourists coming in. That is the idea. But guess what? My notion that being early does not matter proved correct yet again because I'm never wrong. All my opinions are facts. While the viewership of this is higher than usual, 5K compared to the other one, I think it has to do more shampoo. Let's look at where the views came from. Recommendations only. Literally no fucking search. Let's look at this. How many viewership did I get from search? 180 views compared to 5,000 views. You know what this tells me? Being early doesn't fucking matter, bro. Some people who are obsessed with chasing trends and chasing tourists will always have the pressure in the back of the mind that they need to upload early or no one will watch it. I don't even play that game. I play the game of building a community of die-hard loyal audiences that will watch whenever I upload that shit. Let's look at the other statistics. People watch it for the entire way. Obviously, look at that. Guess where shampoo came in, by the way. It truly shows, you know, the difference of, did people give a fuck about the figure skating duo? Or did people care about shampoo? Can you guys tell? Can you guys tell at which point things changed? If you look at the audience tab, got a little bit more new people coming in, right? Rama definitely has a lot more tourists coming in, but it's also tourists being recommended my content through the recommendation system, which is always great. And that's pretty much it. Being early did not land me on the search engine. My videos, like if I uploaded this a day later, I bet you the performance would not have fucking changed. That is my belief off of this experiment. So trying to be early as possible, it doesn't really matter. Being early as possible also kind of like sacrifices quality to reactions. I don't want to wake up in the fucking morning all groggy and try to get the video out as fast as I can just because I'm trying to be #1. That defeats the purpose. My goal is to give you guys an experience, especially on Twitch as well. To give you guys an experience, to like have quality time. I want to take my time with it and fully just like give it everything I have. And because I focus on the experience and like giving you guys a good time, which sounds kind of weird, like it's a different game that I'm playing for most other reaction channels. I believe the way that I handle my content truly forms a community and strengthens the parasocial bonds compared to other reaction channels that are only focused on uploading as fast as they can for random fucking trends. And while that may get you a hit here and there, I feel like that's kind of like fragile, right? I feel like that's kind of like fragile viewership. Because monkeys, my loyal monkeys will watch whatever I watch when I watch it. And having something to look forward to also, you know, gives them, you know, something to look forward to the day. The fact that, oh shit, he hasn't uploaded that reaction just yet. How good is it going to be? There's also a different thing of early access, right? Especially for weekly content. People know that I'm going to be one of the last people to upload it, right? Does this somehow give an incentive for people to subscribe on Patreon because they didn't want to wait? I'm not sure. That's not the most important thing. But my most important thing is give people a great experience through bonding within the community and focus with the core audience while doing a little bit of trends here and there. All right, next up. Let's talk about Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom is coming to an end, and Steins Gate will be replacing it, as you've seen in the poll. S-Class has been, it's all right. It's been okay. It's definitely, there's some episodes that people care way more for, and some other episodes kind of feel like filler because nothing is really happening to the overall plot. I still enjoy it no matter what. We're pretty much done with it on Patreon side. I think that it was a successful project. Compared to Fate Zero, which again, I think the poll was heavily brigaded, Assassination Room has been very stable, very consistent, and it's been good. It's been good. Rest in peace, Koro Sensei. I'm glad that this one did well. And then let's talk about Railgun. Oh, let's do this. Railgun. Railgun does even better. I mean, it's not just Railgun, it's also Index. And remember, I am shocked at how well Index did, and Railgun also is holding it down strong. It truly is. Like, numbers like this is great. It's not Apothecary Diaries numbers, but still, completely old anime with no semblance of, future seasons happening, doing this well is pretty great. The most hyped up recent episode definitely is this one where Toma, blocked the explosion guy. As Frost-Saka dropped the fucking coin, you dumbass. Look at the watch time, great. It's definitely gonna be a lot. Yeah, people cared more about the fucking, as soon as, these hype shit started to happen. Let's look at the audience tab. Yeah, just returning viewers. If you upload early to chase the trends, it would also lower older shows since search traffic from older show. Not necessarily. Because search traffic is dependent on not time, but how well a video is performing. And how does your watch history look? Your search history, when you look at some reaction, when my search history, when I look at a reaction, it's gonna be different. Search engine doesn't show you chronological order unless you specifically filter. Unless you literally, let's say like Apothecary Diaries, right? If you do this shit and then you did recently uploaded, then it's gonna filter based on, these oh, Neil decides gonna start watching it, nice. But they're gonna start doing it, based on, upload order. But in terms of what's shown in the main thing, this is not chronological. They rank it based on the performance of these shows with equal, like notice how my just not even coming up here, right? And your search engine will be also different. Older animes like Steins Gate Code Geass, none of that shit really matters in terms of, search trend because those things are not even, search engine stuff. But I still completely believe that I am correct in terms of focusing on what people want from my community rather than chasing random trends and having people just treat your stream or treat your channel like a fucking slut, bro. They just care about one thing that they fuck off. You have no semblance of community building. Yeah, I know you're saying I'm correct. I'm just building off of it that like you really need to focus on like who are the people watching you. What was I talking about? We just did Railgun. There's another show I want to check about. What else did really well recently? Let's look at Damsel. Do-Over Damsel is an interesting one. It definitely worked according to my plans. And my plan was this. I was basically looking at, like, the whole gauntlet system where I ask you what do you want to watch, then you from fall 2024, that's been Stragglers, then we pull on it and we go off of it, and that's how we kind of got Spirit Chronicles in. I've also noticed that, like, rather than doing just that, you can look at other reaction channels and look at the base viewership. Like, this is literally what I did. Do-Over Damsel reaction. I didn't search for Do-Over Damsel reaction, but this is what I went. I went to other people's channels, and you can use their numbers as a baseline, right? If you look at this channel's baseline viewership, what is it? 280 this, 648 for that, 847. Maybe this isn't a good one. Because like I was trying to show, but honestly, this one actually gives me an impression that Yakuza Fiancé is, doing pretty well relative to the other content. And once I see that there is a specific like show that is doing better than the other average viewership, you can clearly see that Yakuza Fiancé gets like double the viewership of the other shows that they're watching. What does this tell me? Tells me that there is a high demand but low supply for it. There might be more tourists there. It's the same idea for Do-Over Damsel. So I executed that strategy and it did pretty well. Definitely not the best performing weekly show, but definitely not like, doing so bad like Tower of God, right? So it's doing well. We gotta let obviously these videos build up throughout the days, but it's doing well enough. What other shows? Yeah, Tower of God is very unfortunate what happened to that show. Genshin Killer. Call any gacha game Genshin Killer. People get so fucking mad. Where is this? Genshin. I'm surprised that there isn't, more dislikes here. People get so fucking triggered. You're like, leave my Notice how we're making into the YouTube search engine for stuff like this, right? Not saying that this is more, I think that this is definitely more significant viewership from search engine. Why is that? Trailers, opening reactions and shit like that, people care more. It's tourist content. This is complete tourist content. Look at the fucking audience coming in. Look at that shit, right? Look at the sub to non-sub breakdown. I only made this video just for views, that's it. Like, I genuinely don't give a fuck. I might play this game, but I'm not making this to have, you know, people coming in sub to me. I don't care. I was like, new trailer? Sure, we'll check it out. It's tourist content. Who knows, maybe some people will check out the, you know, the, what's it called? The actual anime reactions. Grieving Souls? Grieving Souls does pretty well. Grieving Souls low-key is another really, really great weekly show, huh? I think that the Talker anime is also just as good, but people care more about the comedy from Grieving Souls, huh? Easily getting like, god damn, this shit got... What the fuck? When did this shit hit 14K? I didn't even know. Like, I upload so many videos that I don't look at every video's independent, you know, analytics anymore. I only care about, you know, monthly viewership on a scale, but like, damn. What happened? I mean, still, it's like, there isn't really a new influx of new people coming in. It's just mostly returning viewers, I guess. But people really enjoy that, huh? People really enjoy Grieving Souls. The fact that even now, like the most recent episodes, right? This shit's still hitting for like 4K, almost like 5K. Good signs. Great signs, might I say. Yeah, look at that shit. Let's look at the revenue. People are watching, it could be higher. What does that mean? It means that people only cared about one specific section. Yeah, they cared more about this section, I guess. I don't know. But Grieving Souls, great. It's just like, can't ask for more, right? This is something that I'm getting carried by? Not really. Because it's not like Blue Lock. This is not as tourist heavy as Blue Lock, so I wouldn't necessarily say I'm completely carried by it, but for sure it is, you know, taking a load off my back. Let's talk about Talker. Talker, it doesn't hit the same, but it does well enough. For sure it does. Look at the most recent one, like shit. This shit got for 8K, man. That's pretty good. Talker also did really well. It did. Look at the 5K one. Look at the audience coming in. Yeah, just all returning people. This is earned. This is definitely earned community content, not tourist content. Yeah, I low-key might even enjoy Talker more than Grieving too, but it's okay. Let's look at Spirit Chronicles. And the most recent episode will go up in about 2 hours or so. Spirit Chronicles, it's definitely suffering. It's not drop-worthy though, right? Shit like this is average. It's definitely kind of on the lower ceiling, right? Lower floor, right? Look at that. The viewership is 157 less than the average, but remember, high quality audience. The watch time will still be good enough, right? This doesn't mean that I need to drop the show. No. It's expected that, you know, it's gonna drop off after a while, because as with any show, right, the beginning is always gonna do well. Season 1 is obviously gonna perform way better, but season 2 not as much, but it's perfectly fine. I'm glad that I checked it out. I'm glad that I was able to cover this shit. Arifureta? Yeah, let's look at Arifureta. Arifureta, it's the most recent episodes are definitely slower. I don't think people really care too much about the Labyrinth shit going on. The Empire stuff was kind of popping off though, so that was nice. But other than that, it's pretty much it. I'm wondering how well the also, it's funny that I can just farm a fucking video like this thing. Are we gonna watch Fate? Oh my god, go vote for that shit. Danmachi? Danmachi always kills it. Danmachi always kills it, right? Let's look at Danmachi here. I was really worried about Danmachi viewership. Look at this shit. I mean, obviously, this is fucking 2 years ago. Of course, we've grown so much from then, but Danmachi, like, goddamn. The most down bad anime ending, yeah. Almost up for 10K, not bad. It was, it's doing really well, actually. Way better than I expected. Mostly tourists, though. Let's look at this. Audience tab. Look like the tourist tab been converted. This is community effort. This is not like Blue Lock at all. It's community effort. What about this episode? The plot twist of Freya. I'm gonna assume way more tourists coming in here, right? It has to. Not that much, to be honest. Not that much at all. No, it's not like Blue Lock at all. I have way more returning viewers than Joe. Well, yeah, because Joe really focuses, prioritizes on trending shit, right? I care only about my returning viewers. Like, I genuinely care way more for returning viewers than new viewers, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. 0% female. I mean, do you expect a show called "Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon"? Do you think girls are gonna watch this shit? You think girls gonna watch this fucking pussy ass character Belle be so dense and fumble so many girls? No, come on, they're not gonna watch this. It's like 100 Girlfriends. You think girls are gonna watch 100 Girlfriends, bro? But that's pretty much it. Focusing on quality audience. Focusing on my returning viewers. Also, one last video. This one actually did really well. Let's look at this one. The VTuber drama. People love the VTuber drama, bro. No, I'm not gonna look at every single. Villainous is average. It's doing alright. This shit hit. I don't know why. I'm not sure if you guys can tell here, but there's a plateau of a slope here that then got pushed out. It's like still getting recommended a lot. It has hit the algorithm, as in like we're into the VTuber, you know, audience right now, and this is great. This is better than the Asmongold video example because people watching, you know, that 30k viewed one I got for Johnny Somali Asmongold reaction. I don't think there's as big of an overlap with anime enjoyers compared to VTuber stuff, right? VTuber audiences, I mean, it's fucking anime shit already, right? They're most likely all already weebs, so it's most likely that they're going to be enjoying anime content more. Great, 461, not bad at all. Yeah, just mostly through, you know, for browse features, all through recommendations, good. Mujing reaction, Gunpai, Kaka TV. Yo, that Vietnamese, this guy actually showed up. This person is the person that was, you know, making merch and got blamed for fucking like stealing or whatever from the stupid VTuber, but they showed up and they said I was gonna plan to sell the other and donate the money to her throne, but because of this drama, I'm gonna use that money to eat barbecue instead. And I said, oh man, that barbecue is gonna taste so fucking good. And that's pretty much it. Duver Damsel is a new project that's been doing really well. All the community series is doing really well. I'm excited to see how well Steins Gate will do. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Just consolidate. Focus on returning viewers. Focus on returning viewers.